Herschel Walker playing wide receiver. Here's Emmitt Smith to the 35, 36 perhaps. Sherman Williams, the deep back. Replacing Emmitt Smith. Stop.
Now watch Moose Johnston. He starts out. See, now he's going to block the guy. No, he just shot an air ball.
Yep.
He just went there and shot air. More than a pass rush or pass protection.
It's not going to be over anytime soon. Emmitt Smith is hit by Brian Dawkins, and that's a good tackle by Dawkins. Ray Rhodes was saying yesterday that Dawkins is really playing well. Really come on.
Well, he's a rookie. He's one of his rookie starters, and I think that one of the first things you always have to look for in a free safety is a good tackler, because he's the last guy there. You know, I mean, you know, you have three lines. You have your defensive line as one group, then you have your defensive backs, linebackers, then the last group are the defensive backs.
It's usually there, however. That's Levin. The first Packer first. They pick up yardage as a result of Dotson's recovery. 2nd and 1. Fakes 11. Pass behind Antonio Freeman. Thomason, the tight end, is on the right side. Barr fakes. Blitz is coming. Freeman out of bounds.
And now here's Bobby Taylor. He's a corner. Now he's going to come on a blitz, and that's who he hits. You see, the minute that Favre feels that Bobby Taylor's coming, he knows that Antonio Freeman is working on it.
Favre back to throw. Drills it. Incomplete. Intended for Schrader.
That he could throw the ball into the hole of a donut. And that's what he tried to do there. I mean, he tried to throw that into a hole of a donut. I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder if he hopes the Packers scores a touchdown or if he just wants to get in and get it over with.
To the 15.
I formation.
Aikman fires deep to Jeffers. Incomplete. And Brian Dawkins, I beg your pardon.
Well, Troy Vincent is the guy who's been covering Michael Irvin all day. Michael Irvin isn't in the game, so now he's covering Patrick Jeffers. And I think that Troy Aikman made a perfect throw. I mean, that was double coverage.
It's
Jeffers
right
got a step on the double coverage, and Troy Aikman made a perfect pass, and Jeffers dropped it.
Chris Warren really had high, great hopes, and now
watch Larry Allen, number 77. He makes that kick-out block there that really makes the hole for Chris Warren. I think when Chris Warren goes right there at the end, that end extension is when he does it. He has the foot planted, and then he goes to take that next step.
And he's still down on the sideline.
37 years old today.
And doing a good job. Here's Emmitt Smith shedding tackles, and Emmitt to the 40. Emmitt still going at the 30.
Missed tackle right there. Now he got the ball in the left end. He's ready for a straight arm there. Gets ready for a straight arm. Then he's going to get a spin.
Tim Dwight is deep for the Falcons. Dwight led the NCAA in punt returns last season for the 15. Swings it wide. So he is smothered at the 19-yard line.
Wow. That was a hit.
How about this hit on Tim Dwight?
Tim Dwight won't back away. He's a guy with great speed, but he'll take it right up at you. Look at the Eagles fly around, get after him. Ray Farmer, Brian Dawkins. Awesome new. I'm running with him.
2nd and 18. 3 wide receivers in for Atlanta. Pressure coming from Brandon Whiting, and the big hit on Chandler got rid of it.
Watch Brian. He says, "Oh, I'm too late. Well, I'll go anyway." It's an excuse me hit. I'm coming. Oh, now watch him. Oh, I'm too. Okay. Boom.
Got him.
And Chandler cannot afford to get hit too many times because he's it for the Falcons. Nice stick by Brian Dawkins.
That the Redskins have today.
The inside handoff to Brian Mitchell. He can make things happen. 3 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Green hands it off to Mitchell, who gains 7 more yards. 3rd and 4. 3 wide outs. Green with time and finds his man. This time, Steven Alexander makes the catch for a Redskins first down.
And Trent Green finds his receiver downfield, and as you said, this time, Steven Alexander hangs on to it.
From their own 15, under 3 minutes remaining, trying to get Skip Hicks over 100. So if one of those three gets hurt, Dion said he might not go due to the pregnancy. His wife due right around then. Hakeem.
He's anxious. He's a competitor. He wants to get in there. Oh, boy. Jeremiah Trotter. That was sweet.
2nd and 7. Warner off the play fake. Is picked off. Did he stay in bounds? No.
The Eagles love to blitz, and here they come.
Cunningham got away from the first wave of blitzers, but doesn't get anywhere past the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, their defensive coordinator, Jim Johnson, just loves it, and he's going to bring his blitzes. He'll bring them anywhere. He'll bring them on your end of the field, on their end of the field, and he just gets an overload on one side, comes up with a free guy. Randall Cunningham sees it, knows that he's not going to get rid of it.
Dallas takes over after the missed field goal by Akers. LaFleur on the move. This comes a blitz, and there goes in at Smith. Hit by safety man Brian Dawkins.
And he said, if you get through, he said, sometimes they're going to guess right, and they're going to throw you for a loss. He said, but sometimes you can gash it. Right there, they got them all going to the left. He made a cutback, and now they don't have a second layer. You see, you have 3 layers. You have the defensive line, the linebackers, and the secondary. So he has to run 7 yards before he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Cunningham faked and rolled, and it's picked off in the end zone by Brian Dawkins.
Cunningham tried to throw that away, and he didn't get it out of the back line.
Didn't throw it far enough. Dawkins sprints back to the Eagle bench.
He's bringing this thing to life.
Like he has ideas.
And a burst when you get to the hole.
Here's Chris Warren. Dragged down by Brian Dawkins. Here comes the blitz. And Warren splashes into the Eagles secondary.
Crockett in the backfield. Brown in motion. Canton with time, throws at the goal line, incomplete.
30-some times in San Francisco for a touchdown. Going to go across, going to fake like he's going back, and then real quick snap the ball. But look, the Eagles are ready. They have the adjustment, and that time Brian Dawkins just waited for him instead of the defender running the cross trying to stay with Tim Brown.
And the Eagles have the short week, having played on Monday night. That's a first down and more for Zach Crockett.
Does a good job of getting the block up front. He's in motion. Just gets a stalemate. Oh, John Ritchie, nice kick out. That's the block that really made.
Zach Crockett gets the call on the right side again for a couple of yards. And
Ricky Waters on first down. There's a couple of nice moves. Back under pressure, down. Brian Dawkins.
Third down pressure of the Eagles is as good as there is in football. We were late getting into Seattle because we were loading up our defensive coordinator's blitz schemes. Here comes Dawkins off the corner. Hasselbeck never feels him. Of course, he's dealing with the pressure of Brandon Whiting right in his face.
Quick pass to try and get out of there. Complete to Corey Robinson, and he breaks a tackle. Makes it out to the 7-yard line before Brian Dawkins wrestles him to the ground. Seahawks need the 49 on third down. Hasselbeck keeps it. Not going to get there. Brian Dawkins with the tackle. Play action. Hasselbeck floats it. Almost picked off by Brian Dawkins.
And here is Stephen Davis.
A lot of times the guys will just come up and cut a big defensive end, but Brian Johnson gets up in there and mixes it up with them.
And the pitch to Stephen Davis, and Dawkins coming in to make a big play. Brian Dawkins
with a terrific play, and Marty Schottenheimer telling us the other day that he may be the best safety in the entire NFL.
Well, and I don't think there's any question about it that he is. You see him right here, Brian Dawkins, number 20. He's going to come up. He's going to create the 8th man in the box, and he just happens to be on the side where they're going to be pitching and trying to get it outside. And you're going to see a lot of that all day long today. The Eagles create an 8th man, whether that's with Brian Dawkins or Damon Moore. They know they have to be able to stop the running game of this Washington offense.
On the 27. Davis. Stephen Davis spinning his way to the 20-yard line. Banks with the short drop and the completion to Gardner. Gardner racing, and Rod Gardner finally brought down by Brian Dawkins inside the 10.
Westbrook to go down in the skinny post. What it is it's a deep slant in essence, and it was a bad angle there by Bobby Taylor, which allows Westbrook to get it on the field, Rod Gardner. But what
the last couple of weeks for the Redskins, but he dropped that one. 2nd down and 10 on the screen the other side to Davis, and Stephen Davis driving his way and will be knocked back, but the forward motion, because this was the Eagle game plan to jump out in front and force Tony Banks to do this, and he does. He completes to Rod Gardner.
It's just a 2-man route, but because of the play action fake, was able to hold the under.
Is in motion. Number 34, and the handoff is to Carter, and Kajana Carter carries 3 defenders. Banks getting pressure, intercepted. Brian Dawkins for the Eagles, bringing it back.
You're going to see Damon Moore right here coming off the edge, and he gets right in Tony Banks' face. Tony doesn't see Brian Dawkins right there, the safety, who comes over. They tried throwing that deep slant called the skinny post that they had some success with early in the game to Gardner. They try to come back with it to Westbrook, but the safety's there. Tony Banks doesn't see him as a result because of the pressure of Damon Moore.
And again, they go to Davis, and Davis charges forward to the 1st down. 3:18 remaining, and here is a play action. Pressure on Banks, throws it, and it's intercepted in the end zone, and the Eagles.
What a crutch for this offense to be able to lean on when you have a defense that will make plays like this. You see Tony Banks trying to buy time with the pressure. N.D. Kalu coming in from the outside. He's going to Zeron Flemister in the back of the end zone. But Brian Dawkins is waiting for him as he comes across.
Well, and Flemister sat down in the back of the end zone where he needed to get the football. If it was all the pressure, if N.D. Kalu does not get there and get the pressure on him like he did. And they window dress a lot of it with a lot of shifts and a lot of motions.
Giants with their first down of the game on the 43-yard line, and there is the screen to Greg Camella, the Giant fullback, driving forward and then pushed down at the 49-yard line by safety Brian Dawkins.
And here's Ike Hilliard right here in the slot. He's the guy to keep an eye on. That's the one they want to try to get the ball to here in the red zone.
And Ron Dixon is in. 4 wide receivers for the Giants, and the pass caught at the 8 by Hilliard. Short drop by Collins. Now looking for help. And going downfield, and Joe Juravicius.
2 weeks ago against Arizona, these receivers had problems hanging on to the football. Last week they improved. You watch here, Joe Juravicius moving around. Kerry Collins does a great job of getting the ball in there, and he's lucky to have gotten the second chance.
So a good ad-lib pass by Collins, and Collins swinging it out to Barber, and Barber is hit first by number 56, Mike Caldwell, and Brian Dawkins, both in on the play.
It's evident right now that Minnesota is trying to make an attitude here.
They want to run. They haven't been able to most of the season. Culpepper off the play fake, going deep down the sideline, incomplete, intended for Byron Chamberlain, the tight end.
Well, it's been windy down there on the field. When I was down there prior to the game, that wind blowing around on the field. You can see the flags on the top of the goalpost. I don't know if that sailed on them or not, but you can see that was well overthrown.
Right here on 2nd down for Minnesota. Throwing out this Randy Moss. He's hit hard. He drops the ball, but as he went down, let's see.
Donovan McNabb himself had 112.
There's a shot right there. The ball is out well before he's down. That's a fumble. Wow. Harold Morrow in the backfield with Jim Kleinsasser for Minnesota as they go from their 24. His second catch of the game, Brian Dawkins took him down up the 44-yard line. Pepper done a great job of keeping Randy Moss and Chris Carter quiet. Over the middle, complete to Byron Chamberlain, the tight end.
Tampa Bay had a struggle with the Dallas Cowboys.
That surprised a lot of people. Warner gets it to his tight end, Ernie Conwell.
The one thing about those Eagles, they always keep their safeties up tighter to the line of scrimmage.
Warner has time. Misses Falk. He's saying he was held. No flag.
That was the guy that I was saying. That's Brian Dawkins, who the Philadelphia Eagles say is the best free safety in football, and the Rams agree with him.
The same thing.
And he was a guy that started at free safety, came up like he was playing linebacker, and then came off on that play. The day before that was the last time he's been healthy.
Gets it quickly out to Hope. Here comes the reverse to Oz Hakeem, and it will be enough for a first down. Warner drops it quick out to Ernie Conwell.
They had you watch him here. See, he's just going to come on what they call an arrow, and again they get the blitz. Damon Moore, the strong safety, was coming, so the strong safety and a man coverage is usually the guy that covers the tight end. But I think when he sees
third down,
this is the 16th play out of this drive.
Here's Warner. Incomplete, intended for Oz Hakeem.
They've only called 5 penalties so far in this game. They've all been against the Rams. They haven't called 1 penalty yet against the Eagles. This is what it looks like here from that ump cam. You can see what those linemen go through. You know, you not only have to block your guy, but you better duck when that ball comes zooming by you. He's making a believer out of me.
Falk is back in the game, and Warner throws it back to him on the screen pass. He's got 3 blockers in front. Marshall Falk picks his way down to 28.
Then gets up and then comes back and runs that screen. That was set up perfectly.
Falk blocks.
They're in bigger touchdown range, too.
That's a reverse to the tight end, Ernie Conwell, who gets inside the 10.
First down for Collins and the gang at the 13-yard line. Barber inside the 10, stop him at about the 8.
I think we respect that attitude.
Giants on 2nd and 13. Collins throwing, and that's incomplete. And then really paying the price is Hilliard. So much of a price is going to be a personal foul. Brian Dawkins leveled him, and Dawkins is down as well. And both training staffs come rushing out onto the field.
Brian Dawkins, one of the real hitters in this league, and you see Hilliard coming in. The ball is out in front of him. There's no way he had a chance to catch that. That wasn't one of those helmet to helmet. That was helmet to chest. I think the thing, though, that gets Brian Dawkins is that he ducks his head down. You see, and you always want to look and be able to see what you hit. I don't know that Brian Dawkins saw what he was hitting.
Get better pass when they're playing all the time. Here's Carr. He's got a problem, and then he, with his legs, gets it, loses the ball. Eagles have it. It's picked up by Brian Dawkins, the all-pro safety. Better than anyone else, with the best we've seen, and a classic example, their 12th takeaway of the season.
There, when you break contain and you get up there and the violence is coming, get to the ground. You'll see right here, right there, he needs to go down because Darwin Walker is just a big guy, and that's what he does for a living. He's going to come after the football. Watch, grabs him with his left arm and slaps down with his right. That's just great technique by Walker.
And it is good for a gain of 8 yards. Now Carr takes a look, throws downfield, intercepted. Brian Dawkins, the greatest free safety in the game, takes it down the sideline. And David Carr, young as he is, with all that potential, is overmatched against this Eagle defense.
As he pulls this ball back, it gives the free safety, you see at the top of your screen, it gives him a chance to cover more ground to break on the football. If he could throw that football on the first pump instead of waiting, that might have had a chance. But as it was, Dawkins had too much time to get there. Now, he's a guy that the last guy you'd think of would be a professional athlete when you see him. Here's a fake, Don.
Look at this. The Eagles on the run. One man to beat. The block is there. And Dawkins flying into the end zone. And so Andy Reid, a master at trick plays. That results in a 57-yard touchdown and blows the game wide open, if in fact it wasn't blown open long ago.
They'll snap it to Brian Mitchell. He's going to run it, but it's a shovel pass, and you see there, almost goes down. Dawkins almost can't keep his feet enough to catch the ball, but he has the speed to get to the end zone. It's a foot race, and they caught the Texans totally unaware, and it's amazing because...
Long way to go. This is just the quarter pole of the season, quarter of the way there. And now a hard sack as David Carr looks downfield, and Dawkins, they send the free safety, and there isn't a better free safety anywhere than this guy. 5 sacks of Carr today. He's been sacked this season 24 times in 4 games.
That brings up 4th down, of course.
In fact, he's out there now, and a handoff is to Pittman. A little delay, and Michael Pittman is brought down just shy of a first down. Ambiance to the place. It's 2nd down, and it's all started again. Time for Johnson, and he finds Juravicius. Joe Juravicius flying down the sideline. Joe Juravicius is forced down inside the 10. No flags on the play.
They were concerned about his health. And Barry Gardner is the linebacker that they think is their better cover linebacker. And yet once Juravicius got past him.
Ways to handle these various blitzes.
2nd down and 9. Pass complete to Keyshawn Johnson. Again for the Buccaneers.
Keyshawn Johnson is such a great target down here in the red zone when the lanes get smaller and the windows get tighter. And you need a big body in order to be able to throw the football. You're able to pin it on him, and he can use his size.
2nd down and 14. Another handoff, and Hambrick has a big hole over the left side. It'll bring up.
And then you got Brian Dawkins, who comes up and he makes the play on the tackle on Troy Hambrick. And he told us that if he did not have tape on his ankle, there is no way that he would be able to go out and play in the game.
2nd down and 9. This is dumped off to Richie Anderson, the fullback, and Anderson is dropped at the 6. Blitz coming from the Eagles. Pass is incomplete. Glenn was stretched out, and I don't have to tell Troy Aikman that receivers don't like it on cold days when they have to expose their midsection. It's 4th down.
3rd down and 9 from the 42. And Fiedler going deep into coverage and throws the interception. It's picked off by Brian Dawkins. The breeze.
And he's trying to get to a Randy Gaston here. He's this big wide receiver that he has a lot of confidence in, but he forced that. There was nothing there. It down before he had to drag it.
And it was clearly across the field, 53 1/3 yards from the other sideline. Occupied by the Dawkins as Williams takes it into Eagle territory. Being chased and finally thrust out of bounds by Brian Dawkins. So
we're going to start one way and then hit exactly this. See, he starts to the right and then he cuts it right back there. That's the gap that he wants to get into. Again, they had the 8 men up. When you get by that 8 men.
They're trying to march down the field at the end of the half. Miami trying to draw to within 3. And Fiedler guns it over the middle, and it's caught inside the 20-yard line.
Pass. It's just a tight end. He's going to come right up and see him. Just see him come off the line. Now you come in here in the middle, right up the middle. You get behind the linebackers and in front of the safety. See him right there? He gets by the linebackers in front of the safety.
Fiedler rolling, throwing deep into double coverage, touches a couple of Eagles' hands.
Take a shot. Now the only guy you have down there to take the shot with is the one guy. Now when he's double covered, you either have to try and get it in there somehow or just throw it away. Hey, Brian Dawkins is playing like that tonight, isn't he?
For him, worked very hard to get this accomplished. And now, Aaron Stecker. First and goal now from the 4-yard line. Allstott's the tailback. They give it to him. Mike swings to the outside. Cannot get around the corner. And it's all Brian Dawkins can do to wrestle him down.
Yeah, but that's pretty doggone good by Brian Dawkins.
Real good.
Because if he doesn't make that tackle, Allstott is going to go in the end zone. Brian Dawkins, the best free safety in football, and he's good at cover, and he's good at blitzing, and he's also good at this, and you have to be this. When you get out there in the open field, right there, and it's man on man, you have to make that play.
Dawkins had to give away around Vick's right, and they break that formation by sending McCardell off to the left side. And Johnson spinning back this way, throws, hits Allstott, who tries to get out of bounds.
And he has to put his hands up there in the range for it.
And 10. And that's an 8-yard carry by Michael Pittman. First catch of his career, even though he's been for a lot of plays on offense. Now to the ground to Jones. Great descriptions. Stecker to the outside. Slips the tackle. Takes it to the 7-yard line.
Ahman Green. So far, Favre stumbling, just flips it to Ahman Green. And Green will head down the sideline. Dawkins forces him out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Toss to Davenport. And like Ahman Green will do, he hesitated just enough to find an alley in a gain of 6.
Right now, Najee Davenport doing a little talking with Brian Dawkins over there. Dawkins is the emotional leader of this defense. Missed the first matchup between these two teams, but as that toss sweeps,
3rd and 1. They toss it to Green, and Ahman Green breaks free. Possibly a touchdown-saving tackle by Dawkins as Green gets it.
Both these corners for Philadelphia are good tacklers, but Nick Lucci, the fullback, is going to come out and kick him out. And that's what opens things up for Ahman Green. That, and again, some missed tackles.
2nd down and 10, Davenport. Picks his way. He is knocked down shy of a first down. Hit by Dawkins and dropped immediately. Favre just heaves it. Only Eagles are there, and it's picked off by Dawkins. Into Green Bay territory and beyond, still going inside the 35.
Troy, I think that was simply a blown play. I think it was a run, and the back went the wrong way, or Brent went the wrong way, so he's thinking, all right, I've got to, that looks like a route coming off there. But he just wheeled and threw that ball without even turning and looking back at all. The coverage was absolutely there.
Chris, they brought pressure, and Brett didn't anticipate it, and he just threw it up in the air, hoping that Javon Walker could make an adjustment to the ball. And Brian Dawkins, what an outstanding game he's had. 8 tackles today. Of course, the interception right there. But that's one of those plays that Brett Favre would like to just have back.
So R2's Pinner, another impressive running back on the pitch, getting the call on his first play. And Pinner diving.
Still got to get to that big game, though. Dick Vermeil got to the big one. He didn't win it, but he got there.
He got there.
So you know that those Eagles fans, that's what will separate Andy Reid.
It goes down, and this time on the safety blitz, Brian Dawkins, and a loss of 6.
And he's going to come right there onto the inside. And, you know, Joey Harrington told us that watching these guys on film, they were
26 yards, and now they toss to Barber. Started right, cut it back. Tiki Barber is down inside the 20. They'll mark him at the 17. That really taxed the guys from 8. As off his back foot, Manning fires and playing center field, and coming up with the interception is Dawkins.
And you just don't get away with making poor executed throws. This one he tries to give Amani Toomer an opportunity, but Brian Dawkins is so fast coming over the top to help out that he's able to get there before Amani and bring in the interception.
Troy, the other thing.
And that's what they were able to do, and now they're ahead of the chains in second and medium.
Second down and 4. Tiki Barber picks up a first down for the Giants. He's into Philadelphia territory.
Time Jeremiah Trotter right in the middle is going to overrun this play. The Giants are going to do a nice job getting the backside guard out there on him. Trotter, if he had any issues when he was the starting linebacker.
Job of Wayne Lucier there on the block also.
On first down, pressure from Dawkins, and Manning has it knocked out of his hand.
Yeah, that was close, Joe, as to whether or not it was, in fact, arm going forward. Take a look at it. Was the ball going? It was close as to when it came out. Of course, if the hand goes forward and you've got empty hand, it's in a fumble, but it was going forward. A good call there by the referee, incompletion. And I don't know that you can say enough about what this Giants defense did on that last.
Yards receiving, though he scored 2 touchdowns, and he threw a ball for 37 yards. Culpepper, after the play fake, rolling to his left and throws for a first down to Richard Owens, who had crossed his third down and 1 from the 37-yard line. And they give it to Burleson, the wide receiver, taking it from Moss.
Someone jumped there. In fact, he did jump there. They just missed that. Now this is an end around. You know, a reverse is when you hand it to one and get your roll on. This is where you want to get your roll on in these next 2 downs.
2nd and 10. Underneath, there's a flag. And Ontario Smith takes it to the 2. Culpepper out of the shotgun. Stepping up. Can't get in. Stopped inside the 1. Dawkins and Lewis come up. We're looking for the quarterback draw inside the 5-yard line.
And it looked like he changed his mind. It looked like he was starting up there in some kind of an option. Dante Culpepper looks like he stopped and he was going to throw the ball, and then he started to run again. And I'll tell you, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Probably more Owens with his arm in Spring's chest doing more of the interference.
On first down, back to throw is Ramsey, and he fires one out to Gardner. 3 receivers. Slot to the far side of the field. Ramsey looks left, puts it in the air to Coles, and Coles is hugged immediately and wrestled out of bounds by Brian Dawkins.
They're controlling the football.
Yes,
they're controlling the game clock. They're keeping the Eagles' offense on the sideline, and that's really what they want to do. If they can do that and keep the game close.
Rush by his lonesome to the far side. Ball at the Redskins 35. Ramsey looks left. He fires out on the flat and completes it, but getting tackled immediately is Robert Royal, the tight end, after just a 2-yard gain. McCants, the single setback. They go with a double tight end. Portis takes the handoff off left tackle. He is pulled down from behind on a good saving tackle by Brian Dawkins, but he picks up a few yards this time. Cooley, the man in motion. On first down, it's play action. Ramsey is back. Ramsey going downtown, and it is in the corner of the end zone. Is it intercepted? I think it is.
Yes, it is. Throw that ball down there. When they're moving the ball the way they're moving the ball, having him throw that ball to the corner end zone. Great play by Brian Dawkins. Outstanding coverage.
When you get into tight ball games, great players make great plays.
One of the reasons Atlanta led the league in rushing last year. Of course, Vick accounted for more than 900 of those yards. Play action. And then it is intercepted at the 18-yard line by Brian Dawkins. Great read by Dawkins, cutting inside after Vick wants some time off the play fake. He looked for Crumpler, but Dawkins, knowing Vick is going to look for Crumpler a lot, was able to read it just perfectly.
And only 1 wide receiver. So Dawkins doesn't have 2 wide receivers on either side, and so he's just looking for Crumpler in the middle.
ESPN at 9 Eastern time, and we have the Redskins and the Cowboys for you on ABC. Special Monday night next Monday. As Vick, rolling to his right, throws to Michael Dawkins. Talked about him earlier, the #1 pick.
As I said earlier, as he gets better wide receivers, he'll throw more to the wide receivers. Right now, they're an inside team.
Here is Dunn. Vick out of the shotgun. Pressure on from up the middle and from the outside. And 4 Eagles burst through, including Brian Dawkins.
2 things, and he says what I have to do. Here's Brian Dawkins. He's right up here in the line of scrimmage. He's an edge pass rusher. And you see that the Falcons couldn't get out there and get a man on him, so he got a free shot at Michael Vick. But Jim Johnson is going to dial up those blitzes, because he said part of it is we have to put pressure on Michael Vick. And the other part of it, he said, it revs up his guy.
Dunn is back on the bench, but not in the game. And Vick lofts it up, and Algie Crumpler, for the moment, had position on Dawkins, but Dawkins is there to help break it up.
The smaller guy doesn't have a chance, but you have a chance when the ball goes up, and you also have another chance right there when the ball comes down. When the guy has to bring it down into his body, you still have a chance to knock it out, just like Brian Dawkins did there.
Dawkins, great adjustment, reaches around, right hand, breaks it up, saves a touchdown. 3rd down and goal at the 15-yard line. With a blitz, he fumbles the ball. And at the 20-yard line, the Eagles have it, and that's Brian Dawkins, who just made a touchdown-saving play, who blitzed that time and forced the fumble. Phenomenal plays.
Well, look at the last play. Here he is back there. You can see in the safety position. Then he's going to start to walk up. He's going to end up right there in the end of the line of scrimmage. They don't account for him.
Scrambling before the snap to get set. Eli setting up a screen for Tiki Barber. And Tiki Barber has a first down, but a penalty flag comes in. Tiki Barber gets it, his first carry, and Barber with a nice hole, hits the hole hard and picks up 8. Brian Dawkins on this.
And you see then the lanes that begin to open up. The Giants feel that if they can get the Eagles running sideline to sideline, Tiki Barber is such a good cutback runner that he will locate the creases.
2nd down and 8. Tiki Barber finds room to run, has a first down, runs into Dawkins. A blitz from the Eagles. Eli Manning finds the open man, Carter. And he's got a first down inside.
Do bring the pressure inside. And Tiki Barber and the rest of them up front doing a good job. Just enough time there for Eli Manning to get the ball out to Tim Carter for a big first down.
First down at the 11. Jacobs, right side. And a good play is made by Brian Dawkins. Jacobs is averaging 5.5 yards a carry. Made the most out of that as he takes it to the 40. Handoff is to Ward inside, and Derek Ward fights. They lost one on a challenge and lost one when they had to use it with a play clock expiring. Ward right side. Good run.
To play, and so this is the first time in many years that he's had a chance to be playing. Hasn't been in the playoff game ever. First one, and he's doing a pretty good job. Now what you get with him, that a guy who was 4th on the team in receptions this year.
2nd and 2, back to Ward, picks up the first down.
They're just counting on their guys coming up and making the tackle.
3 wide receivers, 3rd down and 21. Bulger able to get rid of it. It is nearly picked off. That's the 3rd Bulger pass the Eagles have nearly intercepted.
I agree with you, Goose. He doesn't have confidence in his guys up front.
He shouldn't after looking at that replay right there. I mean, they're just getting beat one-on-ones. That's just plain football, man.
Bulger to the outside.
Here comes the blitz. That was Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, one of the best
blitzers.
One of the best blitzers. One of the best safeties. I think Brian Dawkins is the best free safety in all football. And you're going to see him right here. And the thing that he does is when he gets here, he knows how to tackle. As Troy Vincent would tell us, you learn from Brian Dawkins that you don't go to a spot, you go to the guy's front leg. That's exactly what he did. But the other thing he did is he timed it well. I mean, you saw that he wasn't in the picture, and then he came in, and just as the ball was snapped, boom, he was right at the line of scrimmage.
3 wide receivers set up. Warner back to throw and throws up the middle, incomplete. Crowds yelling for a flag. Oz Hakeem the target. No flag.
That's the other thing Brian Dawkins does. I mean, Brian Dawkins just doesn't blitz. I mean, if you come in the middle, you're going to have a collision with Brian Dawkins. That's exactly what's happening here. You watch Oz Hakeem, you see that window in there? That's a pretty short window, and Kurt Warner usually doesn't do that. Kurt Warner kind of led Oz Hakeem right into Brian Dawkins to start, but then the next question is, you're okay to start, but how long are you okay to play?
On 3rd down, Warner. Incomplete. Knocked loose, incomplete. He never had possession. Very nearly. That's Torrey Holt.
Yeah, you see Holt, and anytime you go to the inside right here, Dawkins is going to be around there. And you see Brian Dawkins come up, and he just goes right around his shoulders, and the ball comes out.